Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I know it's going to be a very difficult panel because after lunch, usually, it is very, very difficult to keep everybody's attention, but we'll try our best. I think that's a challenge to all the panelists. My name is Shalabh Mittal, and I am the founding CEO of School for Social Entrepreneurs India. In 2016, we started the journey of providing learning and not learning just learning, but learning by doing for social entrepreneurs. This is that time in India when the national skills and entrepreneurship policy was just introduced, and the huge gap that existed in this country was a learning program for social entrepreneurs. We had investors which were growing in number. We had incubation programs, okay, but we didn't have learning programs, and that's the gap that we filled. The unique thing was that 18 to 70 years, anybody could come to SSC and learn. We didn't ask for any education qualification, okay? No CV was asked. If somebody has an idea to create social change and provide solutions to social problems, they could enter SSC India. So a typical classroom of SSC would be an IIT graduate, a school dropout, a farmer, a migrant labor, a PhD, all sitting in a classroom like this and learning. I think that was the achievement that we made last 9 years, and we have created more than 200 plus social enterprises in India, and also we have created a school in Nepal. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I am Suvendu Rout. I work with Access Development Services. Access mandate is to create sustainable livelihoods for the poor and underserved communities across the country in India. We work basically in India, and the way we work is like it's a three-tier approach wherein we first mobilize them into some kind of social institution so that they can take the interventions that we start forward themselves, and then we aggregate the small producers together so that they can have some saying in the market, and then we integrate into the value chain. So basically the supply systems and the market systems and all enable them to do their own business in a better way, earn a bit more what they were already doing. So that's our way of working. Basically we work with small producers and especially women. So that's our mandate. Yes.
Thank you, Arjuna, and thank you, Mallikarjuna and other all partners over here. Basically, I am a chairman, Aspire Knowledge and Skills India Private Limited. We have started our journey 27 years back. As far as skill development is concerned, people know Jet King, which is focused on computer hardware and networking. And we are the pioneers in that. Today, if you go in any industry, if it is network security, he is our student. That I can assure you. I represent different bodies also. India CSR is a body where I do a lot of conferences on CSR interventions. I represent Pune Management Association. It is established 50 years back by Shantrunrao Kurlaskar in Pune. Over there, we have got 1500 plus industry members in that body who voluntarily help MSME segment. As far as our company is concerned, we have three pillars, you can say. One is employability, second is entrepreneurship, and third is sustainability, in which we have started with certain green initiatives, and that is focused more towards inclusivity. So it more towards women empowerment and other factors. There where I get connected with Mallikarjuna sir and started some of the things for the PWD also. So in this particular aspect, in this 27 years, we have trained more than 5 lakh students. We have changed livelihood of 50,000 plus families and focused on earlier on hardware and networking, and then making a respect for a technician like an engineer. So he will be called as a technician earlier. Because of our intervention, he has got respect and he has been called as a designation as an engineer over there. That's what the achievement I will say. This is what Aspire is.
Thank you very much. We will take insight from you. You are people with a lot of experience, a deep experience, So I have some questions for you, and I will start with Shalabh. Shalabh, you are working in the social enterprises with social entrepreneurs, and I would like to know what are the main, how do you catalyze social change by social leaders into social entrepreneurships, and also how do social entrepreneurs learn best? This is my question for you.
So I think first we must really understand what it is for anyone to become a social entrepreneur, what it really means. I think when we talk about social entrepreneurship, the first thing that we ask is, or we ask ourselves, is what is this person's biggest reason to solve the social problem that he or she is trying to solve? And that's where I heard this even in the panel in the morning. Somebody was telling that a person who has had a personal experience of the problem that he or she is trying to solve, or has a very, very close exposure to the problem, unless that is there, it's very difficult to really, solve a problem that you are trying to solve. Social entrepreneurship is not about coming up with an idea in front of television in your drawing room or in your boardroom. That's not how social enterprise happens. Social enterprise really happens when you take action around solving a social problem. And when it is your personal experience, it is solved best. So that's number one. Second, whenever we are trying to talk about skills for solving social problems, how much ever we work around business acumen, unless the social purpose is honed, business acumen will not help. If I don't hone my social purpose, if I don't improve upon how change happens, if that we don't work upon, business acumen will not help. Business acumen comes there secondary. Very important, but secondary. Third, entrepreneurship is a subset of leadership, is what I would say. It's actually social leadership first, then social entrepreneurship. So we are literally looking for social leaders. Yeah, they are people who have a vision, who are there to transform lives, be it for profit or not for profit. That's not where we create a distinction. Otherwise, we would not have celebrated Ratan Tata the way we did just few days ago when he passed away, right? So it does not matter whether you are for profit or you're not for profit, but your head, your heart, and your hands should work in harmony, and they should work for the cause of people. I think that's how social change really happens. Your last bit to the question, how do social entrepreneurs learn best? Social entrepreneurs learn best only by doing. When they do, they learn. If you are going, you basically have to break all the walls of the classroom and then make them learn. You can't make them sit in a classroom like this and make them learn. It is not going to work. Yeah, that's how social entrepreneurs learn best.
Okay. And talking about learning by doing, we have here Suvendu. Suvendu, you are running a very huge organization working with different projects, empowering communities, and I would like to know what are the main obstacles you have identified in working with underserved communities, and how have you overcome them?
So, I think this is a question for a lifetime. I mean, I've been trying to answer this question to myself since last 20 years. Still, I would share my experience, whatever I have learned with you. So, to answer this question, I will take 2-3 minutes. Let's go on a journey of a community. Take for example, one community living in a desert area in Indo-Pakistan border. It's a huge desert. For miles together, hundreds of miles, there is no town or city nearby. Little villages scattered around. In that village, there are communities living there since centuries. They have very little access to water or any, because in the desert there is no water, little drinking water that comes from rainwater harvested somewhere, and very little farming practices. So what do? They do animal husbandry. So basically get milk out of the animals. So basically animal husbandry. And the women have skills. Skills of a little embroidery skill, a little textile skill on your jacket, on your pillow cover or something, and they sell it to the market. But the crux is here, they don't sell. So a middleman living hundreds of miles away in another city, they would have the market, they would come to this community and they will give some little job work and they will do it for 1 day's job, they will get little less than $50. You can imagine the kind of exploitation that happens, but they have to do it because they have to live. They have to earn a little bit of money for their day's work, so they do it. So in this kind of situation, if we want to work as an organization, it's our mandate to develop that community or develop that skill to a level where they can earn for themselves. So what are the challenges? The first one is they don't know who they are selling to. So the first challenge is that. So how do we come over that? We mobilize them into some kind of a formal institution. Say a producer company. Nowadays people call it producer company. In the last decade it has been popular. But if there is no producer company, also some kind of formal institution, a cooperative. In Argentina maybe there are some cooperatives. Maybe if there is nothing, you can form a private limited company of the women, of the artisans, of the weavers, whatever. So we do that to come over that unawareness about something out there. So if they come as a formal organization, they know now at least have a purpose. So they want to do something by themselves, for their children's future. So that is the beginning. And when they begin, another round of challenge comes in. So they have to find their own market, their products. So before the market, the products come in. So if they want to design a little bit of textile, earlier, who did it? Someone else came with a textile, with a design that you do it. All their life they have been doing this. They're doing for someone else. Now they have to do it for themselves. So that's our role, to bridge that gap. So to give them some designs that the market needs, the consumer needs. So sit with them, go with some good designers, sit with them, make some good designs for the consumers. So that is the first set of challenges, making your own product, making it suitable for the market, knowing the market. And then once they do the products well, I mean the skills are developed around that, again the next challenge comes in, where the money comes from. Because to make your own product, you need money. To do another man's product, you don't need money. You just need skills. But to do your own product, you need the money. So you need to go to bank. Believe me, when we started working there, out of 100 women, none had a bank account. 0. No women had a bank account. So you have to go through that process, educate them in financial literacy, why an account is important, why is institution important. So that credit is a challenge. So that is one layer. And then, of course, once you make the product, you have to identify your market. So these people living in that community, they cannot come to the market or big cities to find their consumers. So that's our role again, to overcome that challenge, that connect them to right kind of consumers or right kind of supply chains or value chains, so that they can do themselves. Train them in a way that producer company, enough leadership is developed, enough entrepreneurship is developed. It's a journey. I'm not talking about 1 year. It's a journey of few years down the line. Some people out of that community will develop themselves to come to the market, come to the bank, to do their job themselves, and we are not needed. And the parameter, the indicator that tells us that they are developed or they are empowered is the day when they say goodbye to us. That we no longer need you, thank you very much for your service, for your support. Now we can do our own thing. So that is the journey that we take with the communities, that is our role. These are the challenges and this is how we overcome them. I hope I have shed some light on what we do. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, thank you. And before to talk with Sanjay, I want to ask you some examples from your side and from your entrepreneurs. Some examples of these kind of social leaders working with their social enterprises to empower communities.
Sure. So I think let us understand that why is anyone, really forming a social enterprise? So if we agree that it is to solve a social problem and the ultimate thing is to empower communities. In fact, one of such social enterprises is run by a woman called Umang Sridhar. She recently had a rendezvous with the Prime Minister as well. She started this enterprise in a small town in Madhya Pradesh. And her whole idea was, this came when she went to National Institute of Fashion Technology, okay? And she had a great passion for hand-woven cloth, which is called khadi in India, yeah? But the problem with this cloth is that if you do printing on it, okay, the cloth is such that the ink smudges, okay? You can't print on it, okay? And that is why this cloth is not very popular amongst us, basically. Yeah, this is also khadi, but it's not very popular. She basically realized that because it is not popular, because it doesn't have great designs, if we were able to digitally print on khadi, it would sell and get great price for communities. And that's what she basically innovated upon. She innovated, empowered communities on digitally printing on khadi. But what communities did she empower? So she worked in a village in Madhya Pradesh which was known for its dacoits. Now how do you translate dacoits into Spanish? Please help them. What do you call dacoits? Bandidos, yeah, bandits, basically. So it was a village full of bandidos, and they had basically given up arms and surrendered to the government. But they didn't have any alternative livelihood. She worked with them, trained them, and gave them an alternative livelihood. And that's how she's basically able to empower communities. So it's actually, when you bring a solution, it's not just bringing about an innovation in technology. There was a technological innovation. There was a solution to a problem which is market access, market for digital printed khadi cloth. There was also the problem of alternative livelihoods for a community which had lost everything in their life. So I think when all of that came together, the enterprise found its value. And then that's how you create value through the enterprises that you create when it comes to social entrepreneurship. It's not just about creating a product.
Yes, not just providing.
Not just creating a product or a service and you think that market will buy it. Markets is not going to buy. Like in just workshop we had, we realized that there are two sides that we need to work upon. We, as much as we work on the consumer and its awareness on socially conscious products, we also need to work upon the producer and their understanding of the needs of the socially conscious consumer. So both have to be, we need to work on both. And that's why social entrepreneurs work in broken markets. They work in very difficult markets. It's not a market where you are just simply selling a toothpaste. It's a very difficult market that you tread upon.
Do you want to share some examples? For example, Pink City Rickshaw?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So another example that you know of is Pink City Rickshaw Company. Some people I talked over lunch are going to Jaipur. So basically Jaipur is known as Pink City. There, some 6-7 years ago, we started one little initiative called Pink City Rickshaw Company. So it's a company owned by a group of women coming from slum areas of Jaipur, from low-income households, and running a business of their own on riding e-rickshaws. So in India, if you go to you have been all over India to some places, I know. So you have not seen women riding rickshaws. right? It's generally a men's business. So men ride rickshaws. So, but we thought provocatively to ourselves that we can have a little change. So we thought of women being e-rickshaw riders, and to cut out the hustle of their life and to give them some aspirational income, we thought of a business model which is very different from regular businesses, which rickshaw riders go on roads and get 50 rupees, 100 rupees from here and there for their 1 kilometer rides. We got themselves out of this. We thought of heritage circuits. So in Jaipur, there are different heritage sites that tourists go to visit. So we curated some circuits like heritage circuits, morning circuits. So the people when go to Jaipur, they would typically like to see a city in its very charming way. In the morning, people are leisurely waking up, doing their stuff, going to a flower market, sip a little bit of Indian chai, go to a temple, see what's happening there, how Hinduism is flowering here. So to observe these things, that is real tourism, right? Not just to see monuments. So we train these women to take these tourists along with them to see their city and tell their stories to them. So it's very interesting to the tourist, to a city, to see community life, and the women get 3,000 rupees for a 3-hour ride, which they will not typically get in a month's time, they get in 3 hours. And the tourists also feel good that they are contributing to a cause, to a social cause, and taking a ride which is like driven by women. And so it's like win-win. People, the clients get some good value, and the women by riding that rickshaw. So these are typical, very interesting ideas that we are pursuing to give aspirational income, not just little subsistence income like 100 rupees per day or 200 rupees per day. We are trying to get out of that poverty cycle by doing this kind of initiative, which is really aspirational to the community. Yeah. And that experience is propelled by private sector. One big corporate is funding for that rickshaw company, that funding is over, but the company is self-sustainable. They are earning their own now. They are even paying a little salary to our manager now. So they are now happy. So the manager gets his money from the company. So they are now self-sustainable. Seeing this, now tourist companies are supporting us. They not only by becoming the clients, but also investing in the company. Now we have gone places. You might have heard about Varanasi, another city in India. So we have started their holy city rickshaws. So basically branding it according to that city. And next year we are this month starting in Udaipur. It's called Lake City rickshaws. So Udaipur is known for its lakes. So it's around that Lake City rickshaws. Again, the model is same, but branding is different. So these are the different models that we are trying to create. Thank you.
If you want, you can join us for some minutes. Okay. Thank you. It was a little bit, a small spoiler for the people coming from Latin America, because this Saturday we will enjoy this experience in Jaipur. Yes, with you. Yes. This is a great experience. So thank you, and Sanjay, welcome. And you are working a lot with the government and different stakeholders, and I would like to know how can governments and the private sectors collaborate to empowering communities?
Sure. Working. Excellent learning from both of you on the dais itself. Thank you, Mr. Mittal and Suvendu. As far as this question is concerned, a lot of initiatives have already taken. Some initiatives definitely I will describe right now. One is digitally developed platform has to be done, but that should be like without origin, you can say origin-less or name-less or address-less. That sort of digital platform is needed, in which the first stakeholder will be government, who will make sure to get data, community-based data of infrastructure, of skill gaps, of whatever that particular hyperlocal need is there. So that sort of data has to be accessed. Then there has to be a private player Nowadays, a lot of PPP models are coming. So this is one of the PPP model. The private player will design or will create an AI tools so that that data will become actionable and we can do effective and more impactful decisions on that particular data. So outcome will be definitely best enough because there we will find actionable data on that particular from that particular platform. So that is one of the thing we can be when government and private players can come together, and this we are discussing on different platforms also. The second initiative which we have taken as a company is augmented reality. So for the community, for inclusiveness, we have done certain RFID tags kind of thing, where if suppose somebody want to assemble the mobile or somebody want to assemble the computer, so depending on the RFID tag, he do the assembling. If he goes wrong somewhere, the clips start and he can. So augmented reality and virtual reality with this type of immersive learnings platforms are needed. One of the platform we have designed is patented platform. We have got Aspire Skills, one of the on the Play Store itself. So there is no need of internet to do a curriculum. So to get a Vikasit Bharat on 2047, if you want to go to the rural part of the India or rural part of Bharat, you can say, this type of apps are very much important. So this augmented and virtual immersive learning platforms or apps are very much in demand, and that should be designed and developed. These are the two things where I say ki this. Other than that, the third initiative already have taken by Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship through the NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation. They have come up with a skill impact bonds that has been listed on Bombay Stock Exchange also. So this skill impact bond is a better initiative as far as the outcome-based skills are to be concerned, because in that the stakeholders are risk stakeholders are there, funders are there, third-party evaluators are there. So outcome is measured, and the person who is doing investment, he will get it back after measuring the outcome by the third-party vendor. So this skill impact bond are doing good in India right now, and people are doing partnership with NSDC to do this skill impact bond under the CSRs. So this is one thing I can say. A good initiative has been taken by the government.
Super. Yes, and I would like to know what lessons have been learned from these kind of collaborations across sectors and in developing inclusive solutions, no?
Yeah. As far as inclusive solutions are concerned, you can see a lot of platforms or initiatives have already taken. Lot of departments are already working on that. Some of them are, I will say, all IITians have come together and done a SWAYAM platform, which is accessible to anybody. NADC has come up with one platform, Siddha. Across India, there is only one portal, Siddha, SIDH, on which people can come and do thousands of courses are there, which can be done free of cost. So this is there. There the flagship model has been launched, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, which is made for, you can say, people maybe below poverty line kind of thing, for their inclusiveness. These programs has been made in a subsidized way, and students are training across India. It's a huge volume has been trained under this particular scheme. Third initiative, this last budget they have already launched is internships, in which internships the top 500 companies has been listed, on which the internship will be given to the students, and their stipend will be provided by Government of India. And even company who are spending money on that will be considered as a CSR spend. That is one thing. Apprenticeship model has been done nicely for last 10 years, I can say. So when I say apprenticeship, it is towards, you can say it is more beneficiary for the companies also, employers also. At the same time, the students who are 8th fail, 5th fail, 10th fail or 12th, they can join in a company, work in a company with certain stipend, they will learn when they are working, so their income is also there, and they can have a vertical integration along with this apprenticeship. So he will not remain only as a ITI guy or a 10th fail guy. He can get a vertical integration also and experience also through this apprenticeship. The other initiative I will say is more towards entrepreneurship. For the entrepreneurship, lot of schemes has been launched. Some of the schemes already Dicky has explained. Credit guarantee schemes are there, startup funds are there, funds of funds are there, aspire funds are there. So there are n number of you can say initiatives has been taken so that people should instead of becoming job seekers, they can become job creators, and there will not be a lot of migration. So lot of entrepreneurship or lot of entrepreneurs can start their own business at the village level itself. We have started as an Aspire company, we have started one village level entrepreneurship course, really. It is more into green initiatives where we are working more towards e-waste, and we are covering 4 sustainable development goals in that particular area. So there is a water pollution is there, or so whenever you do e-waste as an there is a lot of hazardous materials are there. So we have to be very careful. So in this green initiatives, what we are doing is we are targeting young minds first, because instead of use and throw, he should respect the Indian culture, and he should refuse that thing or repair that thing, and longevity of that particular electronic device should be increased. So one of the center we have put in Uttaranchal Council of Science and Technology. The other center we have put in Pune University, and as a pilot we are doing these green initiatives where we are trying to say ki e-waste should be reduced, focus on these SDGs, and of course there will be skill training on that particular skill labs about the electronics repairing. At the same time the live experiences will be there, because there will be a store which will do the actual repairing of the live items from the captive crowd of that particular colleges.
Thank you very much. And we have to finish, but first of all I want to share that during this program that we are running here for 10 days in India, this Friday we will visit we will visit a place where Malik and Iytha will share with us a lot of examples of entrepreneurs with disabilities are working to have some experience and some opportunities in the market, no? So this Friday we will enjoy with all this program, and to finalize, I want to invite to everybody to reflect around one question, and this is: what barriers can we start breaking today from our own areas of influence, no? Because the real transformation is possible if we passed from the thinking to the implementation, no? So thank you very much for sharing. This is a very huge topic, so you can continue the conversation with everybody during the break. Thank you very much, and yes, you are welcome to the GIBEF. Thank you. We invite you to have a picture here.